Ladies and gents, we've got our another winner quarterfinals here for the 1v1 Amateur League for Halo Wars 2. Smirk is in the blue color, playing as Wardus, and I believe it's my first time casting one of his games. Is that true? It very well might be. And on the other side, definitely first time casting one of his games. This is ProfFranco, playing as the Yap Yap. Now, I really like both of these leaders on this map, but I think Shipmaster is the god tier pick. For Frontier, the other one is Atriarch, so that's usually what we end up seeing. These two are a little bit of surprise picks, but hey, Wardus can certainly do great here. And into Yap Yap, that's pretty much ideal, right? All these little cannon fodder are great targets for the goo. I'm gonna melt down pretty quick. Now with this Amateur League, of course, there's no top players around. They are all banned. Even the mid to high level players are out. So everyone else gets to practice here. Plus take home around 50 pounds. It's something. Okay, Smirk doesn't seem to have raid camps yet. It's very late. Okay, he does have a raid camp in the back, but no middle mini, which is odd. Wardus normally does want to have it to, you know, start an early assault. On the other hand, ProfFranco's already pumping the heavy grunt from home. Not from this mini, interestingly. The 3-star grunts are actually able to pick this up before they die, right? Oh, perfect timing. They're still gonna go down or time out, but... This isn't, however, a combat spoils game. That's something I should have added. Although it's allowed in the Amateur League to pick combat spoils, whereas it's not allowed in the Pro League. The addition of the mines does mean that there's plenty of goo to come. It's even harder to make the cannon fodder work. Little tickle monsters aren't gonna do much. Shrapnel mines coming in alongside infused engineers, which is a bit of a surprise. Methane wagons and grunt riders. Together they're sure gonna end mini bases quickly. But will it come to that? Again, these brutes aren't actually getting resources from the base, so it's totally okay to trade base for base. One chopper just isn't adding quite enough damage to take out everyone. And of course, the Grenadier just adding so much goo to the area as well. Methane wagon's almost dead. Pretty sure it is gonna go down to that mine over there. Oh! Yep, there it is. Totally dead. Oh, the heavy grunts are holding on pretty good. Grunt Rider Ditto adding in a good amount of damage. Looks like the brutes are getting seriously low and they're gone. Not loving that mine placement, and it's also just a level 1 mine. Looks like our Wardus decides to heal in these spots. And some of our goo boys are getting some pretty good health from this. Invigorating Frenzy also makes them attack a little better. And from Yap Yap, we've got a second base, interestingly, but no second generator or anything like that. We got the second generator now for Smirk. Economy is starting to look seriously good, especially with the second power node getting captured. Eventually that will turn into a third over there. It really looks like it. Another infused mine is ready. They actually have very short cooldowns. Just dropping them down on cooldown seems like a really good idea here. So Franco is gonna lose that forward mini, I'm sure. He's done before. He'll do again. So Franco's coming up with that second extractor. The forward base is upgrading. And it's just all heavy grunts from here on out, I suppose, because we want to get to tier 2 eventually, right? Smirk has the middle mini. That's now 4 minis to 2. And he can go tier 2 while grabbing an expansion himself. Things are looking on the up. Just a moment and he'll have the 200 power. Beautiful. Yeah, see, Smirk clearly gets it. Like, he watches those resources when he's close to the thresholds. He gets ready to buy the thing, knowing exactly how much he needs to spend for the next objective, which in this case was 500, 200. You got 1,000 blues, so you might as well make a third generator, which is just 800. You still got money to pre-place the other building. Yes. Oh, beautiful. And no, they can't hear me. That would be unfair. We've got a 1 minute delay on the stream. That mine's gonna blow. Taking some of the small guys with it, but there's plenty of heavy grunts left, right? The worry boys are getting healed. Oh, good beam there. Taking down a whole bunch. Oh, the engineers are clumped, but the beam expires. Just in time for them to stay alive. I like the Banshee edition here. Will be really good against the Fort Wagon, right? Doesn't look like it's gonna be tier 2 for our grunty boys. So there's 700 power. I mean, what happened here? Oh, 4-point drop. Of course. Bonk the generator. No one's here to defend it. It's a good move. See, Smirk could have technically squeezed in a shield. Technically, but it would have cost him production. He would have had to cancel some units that he was making. Losing 2 generators is a pretty big deal, so this is a really good drop here. Go for the third one. I think they can actually get the third one, especially if there's methane on it, despite the engineer being around. The problem is the counter attack is also looking very, very strong. Grenadiers are eventually gonna get these heavy grunts. There's not much those can do about it. No, there's only 1 brute on that base. The Banshee's also adding in quite a lot. And the extractor's actually staying up, despite what I've said. I wasn't focused very much, I guess, and the other thing is that there was no methane on it. Base is getting seriously weak at this point. Franco makes it to tier 2. Good stun. Let's see if there's gonna be... Oh, there's another heal from my warders. That's kind of brutal. So all these grunts on veterancy level 1, supposedly with mines, we'll be able to do something about this. And we've got warders drop as well. And the engineer can do a lot about that base, however. Two Fort Wagons are gonna detonate here. and do some good amount of damage. You know what? Sending that Banshee after the Engineer wouldn't be the worst of ideas. Just gotta get away from those heavy grunts. The Brutes are working on it, but the heal rate is faster. You just need more. I would have loved to see some Dark Skies Brutes, but that's just not happening, is it? Cataclysm? I did not expect that. Well, neither did ProfFranco. He's ready to go tier 3, by the way, behind this. His buildings are gonna be fine for now, but there's a Warrior's Hero that he can't do anything about. Engineers are trying to heal here, but I think he's just gonna lose all the buildings, regardless of what's happening. And one base tier 3 is just not as strong. He's trying to get out his heroes now, but it's a little bit too late for that. This base really needed some shielding. And then maybe it could have stayed alive, but now the Brutes and Warriors together, they should be able to get this down, right? Engineer Bubble doesn't quite seem to work on it, but the heal rate is insane. Engineer finally goes poof, and that should be it for the base. Beam comes down, but Smirk with a nice split takes care of it. Base is completely toast. How sad. The Goblin was just here in time to save it, but didn't press the button. I think it could have actually reached that, right? Potentially. And I guess we just didn't get a please don't shoot me or anything like that. It's not a Yap Yap drop, however. And that's gonna buy some time here, allow him to fight back just a little bit. But Franco's situation is not looking so good. You see, this is also a fully developed base for Smirk. He's got his 3rd generator back, 4th generator now. He upgrades those, makes a shield, and he'll never have a problem again. Grunt Dome's once again gonna buy some time, but the Yap Yap army has been thinned out, so if he had please don't shoot me, I'd say there's nothing to shoot. Almost nothing. Tier 3's coming through, which means there will be some Wraiths. And, you know, at this point, making some cannon fodder is not the worst idea. At least you have something. Even if you just end up feeding the other guy with XP. At least you're slowing them down. It's not much of a slowdown, is it? 2 Gobbos are gonna get squished. Ouch. It got censored. Smirk OP. Good win. Really good leader pick as well. And actually those mines were not too bad. Ladies and gents, welcome to game number 2. It's gonna be here on Ashes. We've got Smirk. He's got Shipmaster. Good times ahead for a shippy player here, for sure. ProfFranco is gonna go with Cutter, which can definitely work. You know, you can open, let's say, probably not Jackrabbits, but I still think you want a good number of Marines to just capture power nodes. If you detect that it's a cloak game, then you do want the rabbits, though. Veagle, Veagle, Veagle! Go, boy! It's a little difficult against Cutter's Marines because they just catch up so easily, right? ProfFranco might need a mini base deal here. Smirk is a sneaky, sneaky boy. Now follow this up with a hero and it's like maximum sneak. This is one of those 4 versus 2 mini-base situations, isn't it? Looking pretty brutal. Early barracks. But that really should have been down here, right? Jump back brutes getting made. This is definitely to take over that bottom mini. And it could be 5 versus 1 mini. Brutal if it works out. And ProfFranco is just not prepared for this. Like, the builds really have to focus around securing those minis, and then once you have your pads, you can just spam scouts. And there's nothing the other side can really do about it. It could be just go suicide grunt, but I still do think that you want like a handful of brutes to get to work here. Even just 2 is fine. And then just swap into brutes. Go spam once you have the harvesters, which almost done. Hey, some nice reset micro on that rabbit to get rid of the brute real quick. Probably don't want to rush jumping down then. Wait for the ghosts instead. It's mostly marines. And some hellbringers. Doesn't look like Franco is gonna have marines with grenades. So the ghosts are actually scary, actually. Smirk is upgrading their shields now. There's a lot of resources, not spamming ghosts very nicely. Oh, it's a node strat, it's a node strat. Please kill the sentinels. Right, there will be a warning here. Definitely. I'll quickly reach out in the chat while you guys watch the point of view. There's no consequence for the first one. It's the second one where you get the penalty. Yeah, two boys stayed alive. All right, we got that. Warning has been sent. I'm sure it wasn't on purpose, by the way, but it happened nonetheless. Even in the amateur league, it's a problem. Because otherwise, the elite leaders would just be super OP. You would just cloak, capture all the power nodes, and let it happen. Quick 5 power nodes. And the other guy can do nothing about it. And now Franco's gonna do it. What? No, the 1 marine should be able to take the 2 sentinels, right? Just barely. It's a close fight. It's very close, but the marine manages. Alright, Smirk, I'm kind of mad about the number of ghosts. Like, we have 1,800 resources in the bank. There should be 20 ghosts in the field. Right? That would be the expectation. Well, it doesn't have to be all ghosts, like you can have some suicide grunts too. But what we're seeing is just way too little. Ram actually takes out one of those satchels. You can node strat with Cutter. Yeah, but it's most broken with the elites. Cutter's taken over meanwhile. That's why we have those rules, guys, so that elites can't just take all the power nodes in the first minute of the game. Good work with the decapturing, however. Even the grunts being sent up. ProfFranco with the second base upgrading. Jerome's coming out. Second tier is unlocked. Second generator is getting upgraded. It's looking good. Airpad's getting added in. I would have liked that to be a garage first, perhaps. Warthog R2 wouldn't be too bad. Now the great grenades can maybe hit these ghosts. We should also get to see some combat tech marines soon, because that's a lot of marines actually on the field. Spirit support getting called in, now that's something. Maybe we'll get to heal some of these ghosts, but there is a Diego and there is a Spartan who can absolutely punish this, however. Unicorns and their bubble shields are doing a lot of work. The Marines are going down one by one. Maybe Diego isn't actually safe. The Spartan and the Marines didn't try to take out the engineers first. That's a problem. ProfFranco's base is definitely hurting. Smirk is looking really solid here, by the way. Got a pad upgrade. Looks like Smirk will be losing this soon enough. Wait, actually that's not gonna go down, is it? ODST drop here would be pretty nice to make sure it goes down. But Franco doesn't have the money. Not sure what he was making that made him... Could have cancelled that Nightingale if we're honest about it. Oh, it's a complete miss. No stun. But hey, as long as you get the engineers, the others will soon follow. Do you not have extract? I think this is one of those greedy matches where you go for double raid and don't have extract, so you can't call out your veterans. It's unfortunate. Got the honor guard, however. It's gonna get upgraded soon. And then it's gonna be an absolute menace. There we go. There's another upgrade for it. I think it was a good move, because like you could have gone tier 3 instead, right? The Smirk. Gotten out some Wraiths. Good beam there, getting the 2 Nightingales head. But anyways, going for tier 3 there wouldn't have been the best option, because the Spartan just steals your Wraiths one at a time, and you're gonna have to fight against 2 or 3 Diegos, plus the Cutter Big drop. So I'd rather say that a very solid tier 2 banished with good upgrades is preferable here. Yeah, see what I mean? 3 Diegos against 2 Wraiths, that would not be nice. Smirk is gonna lose his base for sure. This honor guard has got to catch up somehow. There's a watchtower, so he can't exactly cloak. He could probably get the generator and get out. But what about the other bases? That was a third base for our banished. The turrets are only now coming up, so it's a little bit too late. And there's nothing to deal with the tank. Not really. Got a decent displacement. Beam was just used not long ago. It might have been better to save it, but it should come back fairly soon. There should be also time to upgrade the turrets, especially the anti-vehicle turrets here against the tank are a really good idea. Will also help against the Wolverine there, but it looks like the Hunters got that. No problem. Diego's going down too. These guys are now heading to the main. No upgraded turrets here. But the honor guard's coming home, that will help. Yeah, but these guys, it seems possible to hold. Just barely. Still 4 ODSCs, it's looking strong. big shame for those turrets not to be upgraded. Oh. Double extractor takedown, ladies and gents. And the harvester. You don't need to go for the base, like just pick off the buildings. It's massive damage already. And getting out of here, however, will be difficult. ODST's getting dropped in. Shall we see some satchels, please? And there are some. It's all to do it. Oh, great job. Smirk didn't move out of it. He didn't have extraction still. Nor does he have beam ready, apparently. And close air supports coming in. The damaged donut will probably be putting an end to this base as the engineers get picked off first. The cutter just has everything left to go on it. I think Smirk has to resign. There's nothing left here. And Franco's already getting the third base there. Brutal. That is going to be a Franco victory, and we're going to get ourselves a game 3. What is it? What is left? Oh, you. It's okay to resign. You can get your post-game stats on Halo Wars Hub. It's faster. Shoot it, guys. Shoot it. Yeah. Well done by Franco. Welcome to game number 3. Smirk is gonna bring the Arbiter. Completely expected here on Rift, but might be not the easiest thing to pull off in the Amateur League against something like Decimus, which is just a lot simpler. So ProfFranco might have the better pool here. Now, don't get me wrong, a perfectly played Arbiter is just the best leader, right? Like, there's not much question about that. Some maps, Vortis is better for sure. Like, Vortis just has an insane win rate. But Arbiter, you know, on a more defensive map is just perfect. Like, there's nothing you can you can pick that will outlast an Arbiter, really. You just have to be patient. You have to put your boys in your Phantoms and sit under shields until they get veterancy. And then with Conduit of Rage 3 and a whole bunch of active leader powers to proc it, you should be able to beat anything that comes your way. However, the power spike of Decimus Banshees is before that, so unless the counter from Smirk is going to be perfect for this, it will be a difficult hold. There's also the ground aspect of just Boundless Siphon Grunts with Pack Brother. And then you follow that up with a Decimus drop soon after. That is a hard one as well. Obviously, you'll have both heroes out at that point. You'll be in tier 2. In between active Siphon, Beam, Vortex, you're typically able to deal a huge blow to Arbiter in that phase of the game as well. Then you can decide to transition into Banshees or just tier 3 Wraiths. Both are decent options, but yeah, like a Banshee transition at that point is pretty brutal. You're gonna have Boundless Fury later, and tier 3 is granted when you're not spending much power. All the supplies are being picked. I like it. That's how it should be. Not those. I hope Franco remembers them. There's a lot of grunts here. When you have more than 3, definitely just start capturing before shooting with the brute grunts, by the way, because they can't start capturing after shooting. It's a bug with their setup. Elite grunts can. They're cheaters. A bug fix patch would go such a long way to smoothing out these little imbalances. Or you guys know how you tell a scout vehicle to shoot something like a chopper, and they just, as you move them, revert to shooting infantry instead? Yeah. It's also not really intended, is it? Small things like that would be very nice to see fixed. Ooh. Stasis mines. Are they gonna blow? Huh. Not bad. But the brute grunts are many. They're so numerous, in fact, they're gonna just take over what seems to be 4 power nodes. And Franco is heading to tier 2, but off of just 1 upgraded extractor. This seems to be a signature move for him. With Banished, I really like the second extractor to be upgraded. It gives you a slightly slower tier 2, but hey, more economy. See, Smirk can do it too. And he's got the second base. It's all further along for him. That's gonna be some... I don't know what this is gonna be, actually. Elites? Just to thin out the grunts, I guess. Not a bad idea. All the veterans. They belong in a Phantom. This is why it's so good to open with elite grunts in tier 1 and, you know, capture all the power nodes. Oh! Did not expect that. ProfFranco's base is gonna be hurt to start with, and he'll have to get into engineers in order to fix it up. Because Decimus doesn't have a leader power heal. Ah! It's unupgraded! No! The generator must be upgraded. It will give you double the income if you do. The more you delay, the more you lose out on. Got a third generator as well for Smirk. Great to see. I almost want him to have an arbiter at that point. It's kind of floating again. This is a habit of Smirk's that I'm picking up on. Spending, spending, spending means you're gonna have more stuff. You have more stuff, your life's gonna be easier, and you can be the attacker. And attacking is also scouting, because if you're in their base, you know what they're making. So you're not gonna be surprised by the sudden banshees. Or whatever it is. Still no third generator for Franco. He's falling significantly behind in income. Smirk finally got his last slots. He could go for a 4th generator at this point. You're Arbiter, right? So you want to get ahead where you can. Garrison elites are doing great here. Shame about the other one that died. Anyway, we've got Boundless Siphon now. still going to be very difficult to deal with this guy. But it seems that the elites with Boundless Siphon, despite being outside of the garrison, are just going to win. There are 3 of them versus 1 after all. Garrisons are not that strong. Okay, Smirk is still... Oh, wait. 4th generator on the main. Oh my goodness. This is such a bad move. You know, a Decimus drop could absolutely annihilate that. And you actually have to fear that a little bit at this point. What's that beam doing? It did like 1 engineer. That's not so good. Sounds like elite's getting dropped in. I don't like it. Also, the Conduit of Rage doesn't stack, so if you use 2 powers in quick succession like that, you're actually wasting their buff. The drop's mostly gone now. But it's still more than what ProfFranco has, so... I guess it's a draw in the middle of the map, but it's cost Smirk a lot of these power cooldowns. Franco's finally getting the Warlord, but it's slow. It's late. That should have been a lot earlier. Smirk is tier 3 now. So we should be seeing some Wraiths. Not playing for that Phantom late game. This is probably easier this way. Because he's absolutely not set up for the Phantom play. Third base is getting picked. Still no third extractor for Franco. Okay, like I keep saying this every cast I do, but as you go tier 2, that third extractor should be happening on your main for most of the cases, right? There are situations where you're not gonna do it, yeah, but like 80% of the time I want to see that right away at tier 2 because you have the money. If you're urgently defending yourself, obviously don't make it in front of building killers, right? But if you're just setting up your tier 2 economy and it's a relatively peaceful match skirmishing over some power nodes, then yeah, just grab your third extractor back home. The first thing you should think about at tier 2, is this the right situation for it? If you're not under pressure, just do it. If you're not gonna get ODST dropped on third point, just do it. The blaster back is here. It's an interesting move. Smirk gonna go Scarab. He's got the kind of money. Okay, here we go. That mini's about to get it. This is a very weak attack, and the Hunter should be able to take care of most of this. What's that stasis for? Smirk's getting a little excited here. I don't like it. That was so much money spent on destroying a mini base, and then we're losing all these units, right? So that was cost-effectively good for Franco. And he beamed the Ballista back, which, that's alright, I guess. Cost efficiency is about 1. Could be better. Sometimes when you beam a Wraith army and you get 2 Wraiths, that's so much better than just getting 1 Ballista back, right? And we got 4 of these things now, and I don't think Franco will be able to hold that base, but he's got a small little counter attack off his own. It's just with the counter units, right? So that's just not as much building damage. Such a small little hit squad. Why don't we have more stuff? Arbiters come in, and there's gonna be hopefully a population upgrade soon after that, but both players kind of stuck here on 80 pop, and you know, it's just not a lot of stuff. They could be doing so much more. Hunter's in the garrison, holding for now, and Hunter Banshee is just a really good counter against the vehicle army, obviously. Technically, you can't do much with your Wraiths against that. But you know, with a good amount of Conduit of Rage, with some stasis usage, you can certainly turn things around. Everybody was stunned there, so it's not great to have Conduit of Rage on and that specific moment. Decimus drops in and actually causes a lot of trouble. Warlord's just gonna retreat. Everyone's just gonna retreat. It's a bit of a pillow fight going on. Little wet noodle slaps. ProfFranco now has a population upgrade and is pumping, but it will take a moment until everyone's out. Smirk's really gotta get that pop upgrade, man. This has gone on long enough. We can afford 3 of those upgrades now. It's a big problem, and like I said, the Banshees, even if just a small number of them, if you're not reacting, they'll eventually take down bases. There's gonna be more. Fighting the main army with them wouldn't be that easy, because there is at least a Reaver. Oh, the beam's coming down. There's an engineer bubble, but I think the engineers are still gonna go down here. Not the best beam, honestly, but it's not bad either, because the army has split up. The hunters are getting some kills out of that. It's not bad. Blaster backs are still blasting, but since they benefit from the air upgrades, I don't think Smirk has them. I think he's been upgrading vehicles, right? Looks like he just lost everything. Finally has the population upgrade. Franco has had that for a long time, and he's on 100 population almost. Whereas Smirk is just on 47, so this is a huge opportunity now to push, especially after that bottom base has been destroyed. Professor Franco should also expand. There is a grunt here to get line of sight with. Although a pure attack here also would work rather well, in my opinion. Arbiter's Reprisal is gonna come in soon. Maybe another base to destroy. Shield Generator is trying to come up, but I don't think the Banshees will allow it. I mean, they have Boundless Fury, so more damage, more speed. That is gonna hurt. Arbiter's partying over here. Still nothing that a few Wraiths can't handle. And of course, these guys can stop a building coming up very easily. Looks like Smirk's about to lose another base. There was an opportunity here to rebuild, however. What's like... Banshees? I mean, it's simple, it works. It's just phantoms, but worse. No, base has gone down. But maybe the guys can stop pillow fighting and just, you know, get out those sledgehammers, right? They're so careful. Both of them. Banshee's just moving around a little bit. We'll dodge the shots, but because there's also boundless siphon, they're actually gonna heal during the attacks. Not much that the enforcers can do about it. Hey, finally reinforcements level 2 is coming in. Would be a good idea to trade away the blaster backs, in my opinion. Wow. This is a throw on purpose, however. It's okay. Smirk just wants more Banshees. Can destroy the Reaver. Triple pump of Banshees. Plus an air upgrade. Smirk's definitely rich. But I don't think he'll be able to repeat the Banshee spam too many times. That's gonna be a problem long term. Right now, Franco isn't terribly ready for this. But hey, he's finally started upgrading his units. And he's had Banshees for a longer time. Let's see what that can do. Smirk is just on 78 population. The Arbiter's almost dead. Gotta be a little careful with that. And there's a little bit of healing for him. And unlocked base. All the Banshees are now going to town. Some of them are getting vortexed. Arbiter is going down. There's nothing that can shoot up here, really. Just a handful of Banshees. They are gonna get taken out first. As long as Smirk keeps up the pump, things are gonna be good. Beam tries to hit him, but with Conduit of Rage being as good as it is, doesn't seem to do much. Oh, another beam. That one was better, but not enough. Anyways, the pillow fight's over, I think. We're serious now. Better attack now. That was a really good fight. Just follow it up. Do more. Our boys are cloaked. They're speedy. They're leeching. And they've got Conduit 2 at least. I don't think it's Conduit 3, but they're doing well. I think they can main this now. Should be seeing a Decimus beam momentarily. And a mass stasis for one Reaver. That's unbelievable, dude. Either way, ProfFranco is about to lose his base there. end the game. Pillow fight no more. Smirk gonna be moving on. Professor Franco has to go through the lower leagues, the lower brackets of our amateur league. Good luck there. And we'll be continuing here with Smirk. We want to thank our website patrons. This is by far the best way to support MetaPlays. Your contribution helps keep the project sustainable and allows us to produce more and better content. If you aren't yet a patron, check out our link in the description and get in touch to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.